وبركاته. اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, miss.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. Today, inshallah, we will continue with our public speaking topic. And today's topic is selecting your topic. Okay. You can write there the title. How do we select our topics? Okay. Whenever you're selecting a topic and whenever you are thinking of giving a speech and it becomes difficult. So what can you do is there are two things that you can refer to. Number one is your personal experience and number second is your reference material. I'm typing it in the chat. I'm talking about selecting a topic. What are the two resources? Personal experience and reference material. Okay, what do you understand by personal experience? What do you understand by personal experience?
Ma'am, something we've been through and we want to share it with them.
Something you have been through and you want to share it with them. So basically the personal involvement or interest and enthusiasm that you have, okay, you can bring that in your speech. And whenever there is a personal story, you must have heard me many a times, whenever I'm evaluating your speech, I keep saying that, where is the personal story? See, each personal story for each person is going to be unique. So what is it that attracts the people is the uniqueness of your personal story. That becomes an interesting element for the people to know. Now, how you narrate it, how you deliver it will again create that aura and that curiosity. So basically, curiosity, you are creating a curiosity among the mind and hearts of the people, and they become hooked onto you, to your story. So that is the beauty of a beautiful narration of a personal story. Okay. Personal experiences cause the speaker to deliver the speech with conviction. Now, what do you mean by conviction? Aisha, what do you mean by conviction? Yes, Aisha? Aisha?
Yes, miss.
What do you mean by conviction?
Conviction?
Yes. Zahra?
It's a firm belief or opinion.
Yeah, conviction basically is the confidence. It will, in the simple words, I can say it brings in the confidence, because your personal story is your personal story. Nobody else is aware about it. So you have a complete authority. You have a complete authority over your story. Okay, Amna's here. Let's begin with the topic here. Again, I'll repeat it. The topic for today is selecting your topic. Okay, and there are two sources for it. One is the personal experience and the second is the reference material. So, okay, let me copy paste again. So selecting a topic, resources are personal experience and reference material. Now we are talking about the personal experience. Personal experience is your own experience. It's a uniqueness of your own personal story that will create curiosity in the hearts and mind of the people. And personal story gives you the conviction. Conviction means confidence the belief in your idea. You will have confidence because it's your story. You know that nobody knows it. And whatever you will say, people will believe it, right? So, because the subject matter is not separated from the speaker's daily life or history. Like, for example, if I ask you about, tell me something about yourself, you are, whatever you are doing in a day, it will not require for you to think too much. You can immediately narrate that I get up at so and so, then I do my prayers, then I do this, then I study, then I play, then I help mom. You know what you do every day. So you don't need to practice. You don't need to think too much. It is your daily life. So this does not require any overthinking or preparation as such. You know it. So you just narrate it very easily. There is a surplus of subject matter related to your personal experience. Now, what could you add in your personal story, or what is there in the well of your personal story from where you will pick up your story? So, it could be your interest or your hobbies, it could be your sports, your travel experience, your entertainment, your values, your goals. It could be about your career, about the studies that you want to take up, what profession you want to pick up. It could be business processes, ethics, investments, retirement plan, whatever is related, and you are planning for it, your goals, your achievements, you can talk about that. It could be past, present, future. It could be family. It could be your ancestors, your lineage, your child rearing insights, your experience as a child, your marriage, your traditions, anything. It could be so many things under the umbrella of family. Then it could be education, your study habits, your memorable teachers, your subjects. So, in the bucket of your personal stories, in the well of your personal stories, you can bring many stories from that bucket. Your friendship with someone, some tragedy in the house, anything that has a mark in your heart, that has remained as a memory that is stuck in your system. You have to elaborate it and then narrate it. Okay, that's about the personal experience. What about the reference material? Now, in reference material, there are lots of data and ideas available. An unlimited amount of ideas is no further away than your fingertips. On the internet, Google, search, there you go. Or else you can visit the library and find great ideas from these resources, such as website, media sites, university research, medical sites, etc. Books, different variety of books, different possible writers, analysis, theory, genre. You can find amazing line of books depending upon your field of interest, what you have been reading, what is your field of subject. Based on that, you can refer to those books. Then there are magazines. There are economic trends, there are human interest stories, there are discoveries, there are real stories, there are case studies, there is entertainment, there is science, there is history. Again, as per your field of interest and your choice, variety of magazines and publications available. Then there are newspapers, which gives you an insight into current events, into opinions, into editorial columns, into travel and advertisements. So this all can come under reference material, right? Okay. Any question in these two references? Just let me know, please, girls. Something that you didn't understand about these two things, tell me quickly. If not, then give me a thumbs up and we'll move forward, because I want you all to be sure. I'm sending some notes in the WhatsApp group. Okay, all okay, I guess. Not able to paste. Okay, I'll try to do it in WhatsApp chat. Okay. Okay, this is done. All right. let's go to our second part now. Okay, whenever you are making the use of the reference material, make sure that they are notable and legitimate sources. Masalan, there are a lot of lies out there. There are a lot of plagiarism happening. Are you aware of what is plagiarism? Anyone?
Yes, Miss.
Tell me.
Miss, it's stealing other people's work, even if you're doing it unintentionally.
Absolutely right. Plagiarism is stealing somebody else's work. Basically, it's a fraud, it's a theft. If somebody has done a thesis, for example, and that work they have published, now somebody else comes, put their name and sells it across, or else forget selling, uses it without giving the due respect or the due credit to the writer, original writer. Now that's plagiarism, and it is not permissible. In fact, in many countries and in many colleges and universities, they penalize if somebody does that during their submission of assignments or their dissertation in PhDs and stuff like that. You cannot copy paste everywhere. There are some material which they put as a disclaimer that it can be used and circulated. There are sometimes they give conditions that, okay, you want to circulate, no problem, but don't change the content, don't change the text. As is, you can circulate. And sometimes they say, let the writer's name be there, but you can circulate it. So we as Muslims, what we are supposed to do to avoid it? Number one, we should always look for something which is truthful, which is talking about facts. Okay, there is no scope of lying and exaggerating and nonsensical things. I understand a lot of fiction material will have these things, but we have to avoid lying. We have to avoid creating something which was not there at all. Now, mind is vast. Okay, mind is so complicated and complex, and the thoughts keep on flowing that you can think, you can get ideas, you can imagine and visualize things that don't exist. I'm not trying to stop that, but anything that crosses the boundary of Islam, that crosses the boundary of legitimacy. By legitimacy, I mean, if there is something illegal, you cannot elaborate that and go against the government and the laws of the country and speak something which is not allowed and not permissible. So these are the boundaries for us. So we have to restrict ourselves by not committing this kind of foolery and this kind of sins, basically. So even if you're going through the reference material, the material that you will be selecting is supposed to be valid, is supposed to be giving you the permission to copy paste and circulate, and then you have to follow the instructions. Okay, Arshi and Khadija, quickly I will go through the summary again because these girls have come in now. Okay, we were talking about selecting a topic. Now, selecting a topic, girls, why are you late? This is the third time I'm giving a snapshot. I mean, we have a limited time lecture and I have to explain you, and then you girls come like this, not on time, and I have to repeat the whole thing because I don't want you to miss a bit. We're talking about selecting a topic. What are the resources? The resources are two: personal experience and reference material. Under personal experience comes your own personal experience, your stories, your uniqueness, and it creates curiosity. It creates that hook for the audience because nobody knows what you are going to talk about. It's a personal story, gives you the conviction. It gives you the confidence. It is an insight in your life which you only know. So that sometimes does not require even a preparation because it is something so easy to do, right? And then we were talking about plagiarism and what kind of content do you pick. So under personal experience, there are things such as the interests, career, family, education, your habits, your achievements, your childhood, your subjects that you're going to pick up, your hobbies, your entertainment, your values and goals. Okay. And then what comes under reference material? Under reference material comes websites, books, magazines, newspaper, analysis, theory, case studies, okay, university research, medical sites, current events, opinions, editorials, and things like that. So that's about reference material. Now, when we are selecting these subjects or when we are selecting these topics, things that we have to be careful about, we should pick up the topic that is not something which is constructed with lies, too many lies, something which is crossing the boundaries of Islamic hudud, something which is illegitimate in terms of that it is something illegal in that particular country, and you're talking about that. So you do have to make sure that you play safe. So you don't go for anything which is not notable and illegitimate. You have to see which is something which is suitable and appropriate, and that is how you work. Now, when I'm talking about the plagiarism, I'm sure you know about it. It's kind of a theft. It's kind of a copy paste where you're not supposed to do it. And as a Muslim, it becomes an additional responsibility on us that we don't do this digital theft. Wherever it is available, yes, you can. But then sometimes the writers will give you conditions that don't change the content. Let the writer get the credit. So you use those material, but you give due credit to the writer. So these are the things that you will do if you're picking up a story from your reference bucket. Now, get inspired. This is one thing that you always have to understand, that that particular episode, that particular incident inspired you, and it is there in your heart and your mind as a memory. You already know from this experience that inspiration can be sudden and elusive. So anywhere you are, anything you're watching, anything you're reading, you're having a conversation, a quiet early morning walk, suddenly some idea flashes in your head, in your mind. And sometimes you are doing some very boring, mundane activities of a daily routine. And then you visualize something, you get a concept in your head, write it down. This is a very good habit. Anytime any idea flashes in your head, immediately write it down on a paper. Like this, you will start constructing your speech, and you will have your own personal bucket of stories. So remember to write it down on paper. Don't lose on those ideas, because sometimes it flashes in your head, it stays there for some time, and then it's gone. So before it's gone, write it down. Okay. Creative speech concepts are often fleeting. So keep a notepad and a pen close by. Even if you do not end up using a particular idea, keep your notes and clippings in an organized file to be referenced for future speeches. I'll tell you what I do. I keep writing whatever concept, whatever idea, whatever thought flashes in my head, I write it down. I have a notepad and I have it full. Now that speech will not be complete, okay? But then I've got that particular idea. So I will just create a title. I'll just put the points that are flashing currently in my head. And later on, if I have to build up a speech on it, I elaborate it accordingly. I fill in whatever I need to fill in. But the idea that came originally in my head, I don't want it to get wasted. Sometimes it is in a form of a quote. Sometimes it is in a form of a speech title. Sometimes it is a concept. Whatever flashes. I told you our brain is, subhanallah, amazing. It keeps on flashing. It keeps on, the current is flowing, alatul. You will feel something gave you an inspiration. Write it down. Okay. Then you have to narrow your selection. How can you do that? How do you narrow your selection? Because that way we can go on and on and on and on. But we don't want everything. We want to be selective. And here we are talking about selecting your topic. It is not that include everything as your topic. No, you have to select your topic. So what are the elements that will allow you to narrow down your selection? So there are 4 points here. First is your audience. Second is the occasion. Third is your own abilities. And fourth, be specific. Okay. So the first point here is talk about that. And now we will talk about narrow selection. Okay. Under narrow your selection, the first thing is your audience. So before you speak, you have to research on your audience very well. Okay. How, who, what range of age, what is their qualification? Are they familiar with this concept? Is it appropriate as per their category? So all that you have to consider before selecting the topic. Like for example, you have a bunch of housewives and then you talk about some recipes. Okay, understandable. But imagine if you have some kids, some teenagers, if you are going to talk about cooking to them or something that is not related to them, then it is totally wrong to talk about something which is not appropriate, age appropriate, or audience appropriate. You have to narrow it down and give them as per their own category, what they require. So you have to know your audience very well. Why are you there? You are there to inspire them. So what do you want? You have to see to it that you are giving them the best, giving them what they require in terms of age. Okay, so audience awareness is a must. Okay. The few questions you have to ask: how many people will attend? What is their age range? Will they already be familiar with the subject, or will you need to carefully define the basic terms and concepts? Does your audience have similar education, interest, background, experiences? So these questions will help you to plan or chalk your speech accordingly. Okay. Point number 2, the occasion. So what's the occasion? What is the theme of the event? Why are you gathering? What is the event? Is it a marriage? Is it a condolence? Is it an Independence Day celebration? Is it a graduation day celebration? Is it an anniversary of a firm or a wedding or what? You have to know the occasion. Consider the event itself. Your speech may serve a specific purpose and several questions should be asked. Does the event have a theme? Where are you scheduled? When are you scheduled to speak during the program? And the agenda of the program. What will happen after your speech? Okay. And then, of course, there might be a dress code. There might be visual aids that they want you to use. So all these questions you have to ask, because based on those theme, based on the occasion, you have to draft your speech. Imagine if you don't know the occasion, you thought there is something of a party and you went there, and supposedly if it was a death anniversary of some noted person and you are all in a happy mood and you are talking about something which is totally contradictory to the theme. Can you imagine the embarrassment? So that is why it is very, very important to know the theme. Before you start speaking, you have to ask them about the theme and the event. Okay? Any question so far?
No.
Everyone is clear? Rida and Arshi, you came late, and even Saida, are you able to grab the things that I'm telling? Saida? Khadija? I'm trying to give you the text actually for the... All right. Okay. Then comes the third point, which is your own abilities. Now that your decision is close to be finalized, review your knowledge and interest in the subject once again. Think about your subject, and again, few questions you will ask yourself. What are those questions? Do you have enough enthusiasm and interest in your topic to capture the audience's attention? Imagine you don't like pottery. You don't like pottery at all. You don't know about pottery. And they call you to inspire some of the students who are new to pottery and are learning it. You yourself don't have interest in it. You think you'll be able to inspire them? And if they ask questions, will you be able to answer? And in the first place, why are you speaking there? You're not an expert. It's not your forte. So it doesn't make sense. You will be called to talk if you have a mastery in a subject. If you are in that position, you are an expert, they will ask you to come and explain about your expertise. So you have to ask yourself these questions. Do you have that interest? Does this subject inspire you? Are you enthusiastic in sharing your knowledge with others? If not, then it is not for you. Do you have the knowledge? You have to ask yourself, am I able to talk about this particular thing? Whichever topic, whichever group of audience you are going to face, is it appropriate? Your presence, your speech. And third and the foremost important thing, will they accept you as an authority? Like, for example, now, if I am supposedly giving a speech on public speaking, I am from Toastmasters. I have achieved the title of Distinguished Toastmasters, which means that is kind of a PhD in educational Toastmasters. If I'm talking there, I know my subject, they have accepted my qualifications and experience and expertise, and that is the reason they call me. And whatever I say, they will have to believe, because they have that faith that this person has gained that knowledge, has the experience for it, and has gained the authority over the subject, so can talk about it, and they will believe and follow. But in case, for example, I don't know anything about stitching, and they call me to inspire a bunch of group about stitching, I myself, I don't know, I'm not interested, I don't have the authority and experience and expertise, so I'm not the fit person, the right person, suitable person to talk about it. So this is very important. You have to place your abilities on the table and question yourself, am I good enough? Will I have the authority? Will they believe me? Do I have interest and enthusiasm to share my things? Then only go for it. Okay. And the fourth point under narrow your selection comes the point, be specific. Whether the speech is 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, okay, or a 30-minute, it has to be specific. Avoid a broad speech topic. I always say, be focused, well-defined, okay? Don't generalize certain topics. You have to give them action plan. You are raising a problem, give them a solution. Supposedly, I'm talking about smoking to some high school students. I have to give them solutions, what better things they can do instead of smoking. I have to give them the facts. I have to give them the stats. I have to give them the condition that will happen if they are into smoking. What kind of physiological damages and what kind of psychological damages and what kind of social damages and financial damages can happen. I have to give them the facts. I have to give them the pros and the cons. I have to give them the solution to come out of it. I should not just raise a problem, raise a concern, raise an issue, and leave it without tucking it or without giving it a closure. I have to provide them an action plan wherein they realize the problem, but at the same time, they know how to tackle it. So you have to close your speech. You have to raise an issue and show how to tackle it, how to deal with it. Okay, so be very specific, be very goal oriented, be very precise. And then what you ask the questions, is the topic specific enough for the time allotted? Like, for example, if it's 2 minute speech, then I have to break it again, opening, body, and closure. But then what I have to include, it will not be way too detailed. If it's a 10 minutes, accordingly. If it's a 15 minutes, accordingly. I have to see how I can break it into opening, body, and end, and how and what information I have to include. Similarly, I'll give you an example, like you are giving your exams. Normally, when you give a test, if the question is for 1 mark, what do? You don't waste too much time. 1 to 3 lines. If the question is for 5 marks, then you spend some more time. You elaborate. You will invest more time in it. If the one question is of 10 marks, then you will write pages and pages and pages, because you know it is for 10. One question is of 10 marks. You have to elaborate it further. So you should know when to give answer in 1 word, answer in 1 sentence, or answer in brief, or an elaborate answer, depending on the marks. Similarly, here you have to see the timing. Is it 2 minutes? Is it 5 minutes? Is it 10 minutes? Is it 15 minutes? Accordingly, you will include the contents. But you have to ask these questions to yourself. Is this topic specific enough for the time allotted? Do the subpoints support the topic and add to the speech? What can be cut from the body of the speech? You don't have to bore your audience. You don't have to repeat unnecessary things time and again. You don't have to beat around the bush. You have to be specific. Okay? Any question in regard to this? Be specific. Zahra, Khadija, Arshi, Aisha, Amna. Narrow your selection. Did you understand narrow your selection?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be inshallah posting the text so you can have it in your 1 minute. I'm trying to copy it here only in the chat. Okay. All right. Okay, can you see it in your chat? Please check the chat in Zoom and you will find all these top points that we have covered up so far. Okay, there you go. I've put it all so you can clearly note down. All right. Going forward. So speech topics are all around us. There is no need to feel overwhelmed when facing with selecting a topic. But you have to be very, very, very careful when you're making a decision. You have to consider all these factors which we have discussed. So with little determination, with little persistence, you have to select the topic with no problem at all. Once you have chosen a subject of personal interest that fits your audience, the occasion, and your own speaking abilities, you will find yourself coming closer to that ideal of every speaker, a finely crafted speech. Now, let me ask you all quickly. If I ask you now, some topic that you take out from your personal basket, what topic that will be? Aisha, tell me a topic from your personal basket. Amna, Arshi, Zahra, and Khadija. Give me one topic quickly.
Personal basket as in?
Your personal life stories, your personal life experiences. Because there are two sources, I said, right? One is your personal story, personal life, and second is your references through books and magazines and publications. So I'm talking about the first basket, the first bucket, the first well. This is how we call it, your own personal stories. So what story you will pick up? Arshi, Zahra, Amna, Aisha, give me one topic from your own personal stories, please. Is it too difficult to answer? Girls, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So answer me, please. One of you. Well, I mean, actually, one by one, all of you.
Ma'am, dreams.
Very good. My dreams. Okay. Barakallah fi. Arshi, Amna, Aisha, and Zahra.
My thoughts.
My thoughts in what? I mean, it's a very broad thing. My thoughts in what? Your thoughts could be. It's a very broad. I told you don't broaden it. I narrow it down. Narrow it down. Like Zahra said, dream, a particular dream. But thoughts is very broad. Narrow it down. Aisha?
Mental health or traveling experience?
Traveling experience, okay. Mental health is again very broad subject. What particular are you talking about? Which mental illness are you talking about? So that's very broad. But traveling experience, yes. Okay. Zahra and Arshi? Khadija and Arshi?
My journey as a hijabi.
My story as a hijabi. Yes, it can work like that. Some anecdote, some incident, some personal story. You can always write that. Okay. Arshi?
Maybe some story from my childhood.
Childhood past experience. Very good. Amna? Amna, give me a topic. Amna?
My likings, like favorite things.
Hobbies. Okay, hobbies will do. So now you have an idea of what you can pick up from your own personal references, from your own personal basket, and that will not require too much of planning, preparation, and thinking, because you know exactly what has happened, and none of us know what is Zahra's dream. None of us know what is Arshi's childhood experience. We don't know what is Khadija's experience as a hijabi. We don't know what is Aisha's thinking about this mental story, mental health, or how to take care of it. And what about Amina and her hobbies? So you are specific, you know it. Okay, it's there in your head. So you can easily talk about it, and whatever you will say, we will believe. Why? Because we don't know, and only you know it. Okay. Now, if you have to select topic from, say, the reference basket, what kind of topic will you select? Give me one quickly. Zahra. Go ahead, girls.
Comfort zone.
Sorry?
Comfort zone.
Comfort zone. Okay. Yes. Who else is talking about it now? Yes. Somebody else? Give me the topic, girls. From the reference basket, what you will select? Give me a topic, please.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to give a topic on.
Why you're not sure?
I don't know.
I don't know. Then you should know. What is your field of interest? Think about it and give that I'm going to, what are your hobbies?
Reading.
Yeah. What kind of books do you read?
Like dystopian fantasy.
And anything to do with the facts and something which is specific and definite?
As in?
As in what you read? You only read fiction?
Well, mostly fiction, but yeah, non-fiction as well.
Yeah, so give me a topic from there. Whatever you like, whatever is your field of interest.
Cats.
Good. Cats, yes. The feline friends around us. Okay. Who else will go for the reference theme? Arshi, Amna?
Art.
Which art? Again, it's a very broad. Be specific. Which art? Aisha, which art?
Miss, I forgot the name, but it's based upon your imagination. It's like freelance.
Freelance of what? Are you talking about a startup?
No.
What is it?
Miss, there was a very specific name. I forgot it at the...
Okay. All right. Anything else? Amna? Arshi? Amna?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me something from your reference basket, any topic.
Sports,
Which sport? It's broad. Bring it down.
karate,
Okay, martial arts. Yes, that's a specific reference point. Okay, good. Barakallah feek. Arshi? Yes, Arshi?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh. Give me your topic from your reference basket.
What kind of topic actually?
I don't know. You have to give me. One is your personal story, and the other one is referring to the resources. What are the resources? The resources are magazine, book, website, publication, newspapers. This is what we discussed, right? From the personal story, you gave me a topic. Now I'm asking you a topic from the reference point of view, from the other resources. So what will be that topic?
Like social media.
Like social media. Again, it's a very broad topic. Narrow it down. Social media, what? The evils of social media, or how to publicize yourself in social media, what? Be specific. Narrow it down.
The narrows of social media.
The
Cons of social media.
pros and cons of social media, or only the cons?
Cons.
Only the cons of social media. Okay, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yes. So you are specific. You are talking about something which is the ongoing matter, something that will appeal to the audience, something that they can relate to, something that is useful. Okay. So that is how you will think of a topic. And then accordingly, based on the occasion, based on the audience, you will narrow your selection of topic. Okay. And that is how you do a well-crafted speech. Once you have all the facts in your hand, once you know the timing, once you know the audience, once you know the duration and everything, then you will craft your speech accordingly. But one thing you have to always remember is, as I again and again repeatedly I keep telling you, you have the moment you know the time for how long you're supposed to speak, don't forget the construction of the speech, the opening, the body, the closure, the salutations. How do you give the take home message? How do you add the personal story? How do you close it nicely? You do a big bang opening, but don't forget the closure. So these elements you will never forget. You have to be very, very, very careful. And again practice this over and over. So then only you will be able to craft a beautiful speech which will have a purpose. So it's not just talking or blabbering without purpose, but it will be a purposeful speech. It will be a speech that will motivate people, inspire people, and you speak like a pro. Clear? Inshallah, I want to do some impromptu speech practices with you all. And I want you all to speak for one minute. So let's have it. Because last time also we discussed about impromptu speeches. Now, I want you all to speak for 1 minute for the personal, from the personal basket, whatever topic you gave. Okay. So I should not give you any time. This is an impromptu speech. So the first one to go is, you want me to use the wheel to decide who will speak? Or you will raise your hand by yourself?
What's the topic?
Are you not able to hear me out today? You're asking me to repeat a lot. Girl, what's going on?
Internet connection is really bad.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I said the personal basket topic that you gave.
Oh, like my journey is as a hijabi?
Yes. Just a 1 minute stuff, huh? I don't want story and story. I am going to just rotate the wheel. Aisha and who else? Are you girls ready? Okay, let's do this now. I'm sharing the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
The screen. Okay, let's begin. The first one to go is Amna. Great. The second one to go is Khadija. Okay. Please remember your number, huh? Please remember the order. Third one to go is Zahra. Fourth one to go is Aisha. Okay. So we know this. Now, let's begin with Amna. Amna, go ahead. Your personal story. I'm not starting the timer. Just randomly speak.
Ma'am, what do I have to speak about?
What did you talk about in your personal basket? What topic you gave me?
I gave you karate,
No,
martial arts.
no, that was from your reference basket. The personal story, what did you give me?
Personal story.
Mhm.
Um,
Hobbies is what you spoke about. That is the topic you gave me
yes.
from your personal basket. Girls, you are not in mood today. I think all of you seems very sluggish and very tired and lazy to me. I want you all to be active. So inshallah, I will save this activity. Let's have this order as is. We will inshallah in our next class, we will have some impromptu speeches because I'm not happy with the kind of response that you girls are giving. Half the time I'm reminding you, half the time I'm really shaking you up. Maybe it is technical glitch or maybe it is something in the mind. Allahu alam. But you girls don't seem to be in the mood to give speeches right now, impromptu. And as it is, we are only 3 minutes away. So inshallah, be prepared, be ready, be enthusiastic, be passionate whenever you attend the class. I totally understand you have other engagements, but then this is something that I want to train you. So please show some interest, show some respect to your teacher. That will be very good on your part, and you will get ajr also. Okay. So inshallah, I'll see you girls in the next session on public speaking. And if you have any questions or doubt, please message me. I'll be posting the recording and I'll be posting the text as well in the group. Okay. Inshallah, next time when
Okay,
you are
ma'am.
in good mood of speaking. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.